Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Snowfall on the PS4. So, a couple of little additions to this area while you're away. I've added in some emergency services because we kind of needed them, so we've got a fire and a police service just there. I then went ahead and added a taxi depot because I realised we didn't actually have taxis on the on our city so far. So I added in a taxi depot just there, put in a stand just there, and then obviously just made all of these sure these buildings are zoned in. This is all sort of office stuff. There's a little bit of commercial just here, and then more office stuff kind of around there as well. I've also put in a nice little footbridge here to enable people to cross easily from one station to the other. And I've also put in a link here for people to be able to access this station comfortably as well. We don't have any trains kind of running on this loop yet. We haven't built that loop. All I have done is I've just, as you can see, moved the cross point to underneath the bridge. That's pretty much all I've done with that. But what I have also done is I've added a new platform route here. So this is actually now a busier station as well. So I wanted to feed both halves of the expansion, or the original section we have up here. And the initial plan is to have this line coming up here and then sort of stopping around here, enabling us to build kind of around it. What I have also done is I've just put a little side road here at the edge of this district and then just zoned in a couple of office buildings, a couple of commercial buildings here, put in another taxi stand just there, and then put a small station here. And this is just a shuttle route that goes to our drop-in service. But you can see it's already a very popular little route because we've got a lot of people over here. So this basically just runs along the edge here. There's just a single connection there, and I've done it in that way and not put a connection going the other way to the bridge as well, because if I do that, then the external trains will end up going onto that route as well, which I don't want. Like I said, I don't want to clog up our commuter lines with the external trains. So you'll see this one here coming over the bridge. It'll whiz through that junction. It'll pull into the station there. The other route hits the other platform. And then these external trains then just go straight back over the bridge. They don't turn up there. Only our commuter line goes up there. So there we go. We now have a busy little station here. And this one is going to be, potentially a little bit queuey at times with trains backing up. Simply depends how many external trains are coming in at the same time as our passenger line. But by putting them onto the opposite platform to the ones that the external trains are going in on, it does help to reduce, hopefully, any kind of delays there. So you can see our pedestrians moving around quite nicely. People getting off the train tend to use that zebra crossing there. People who are getting onto the train tend to go all the way along the end there, turn around and then go in that way, as you can see here. Not entirely sure why they do that, but if it helps reduce the number of people using the crossing, then that's a bonus. Everything else seems to be running really smoothly over here. So it's time for us to complete our sort of rail extension by putting a station in somewhere over here. We've got a route over there which isn't too far from a tram stop. I'm just looking to see where the nearest stop is. We've got a stop there, which isn't too bad. We also have a stop just there as well. Now, maybe I could actually bring the tram down to here. I think I might possibly do that, because that tram runs all the way up there. And I was toying with the idea of actually bringing that out that way and then up there and then going across that way, just to ease a little bit of traffic on this junction. So I might do that. I mean, it's already a big route. I'm wary of making it too much bigger as it is. But I think we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's go into this one here, 2-lane with tram tracks. We want to upgrade, and we want to bring the tram along here. And I do kind of want it to run through that sort of commercial zone there, so it kind of already does. I think. I'm just looking to see which way it goes. Yeah, it goes up and then comes down through that route there. So, yeah, we can just bring this up this way. Oop. Like that. And then if we upgrade that there and now go into our tram route thing here, we can move a couple of these stops. So let's pause for a second. Let's grab this stop and move it to there. And let's grab this stop and move it to there. We can move this stop back to there. And then we can put a stop in just here. Oops, wrong side of the road. And there we have nice, easy pedestrian access and a tram route to our station. Although I do think to maybe ease people crossing the road, there might be better. So they can literally just walk along the pavement like that without crossing the road here or crossing the road just somewhere else. I don't know, we're not expecting a huge amount of traffic up there, so let's see what's the distance between stops. That's not too bad. I think we could probably get away with doing it like that. So, yeah, there we go. We'll make that our new route. Now we just need to remove the unnecessary tracks. So, let's get to normal, straightforward road. And get the upgrade tool out. So this is no longer required. Nor is that. That's now just a one-way bit, even though it's got 2 lanes worth. And then the route will go out this way and along that way there. So that should now theoretically look a little bit smoother. Yes, it does. You can see our cemetery here is full. I don't think we actually have access to crematoriums yet. No, we don't. Does it say? Doesn't say. Alright, let's go to milestones. Oh, we're close. We're really close. We just need an extra 1,200 people. Well, just over 1,100 people, and we will have crematoriums unlocked. So we've got a lot of people dying over here and nowhere to put them. That's a little bit of an issue. It's starting to be an issue over here as well, because this service is having to work twice as hard now. So we really kind of need to get some extra people in here pretty quick. So while we're still paused, let's very quickly create a new district. And this is going to be where our main sort of train is going to come in. Now, this is a little bit clunky over here, so this is going to get upgraded and redeveloped as time goes on, I think. But it'll work for now. You can bring this up here, like so. I really want to start fleshing out this area. So it is a little bit on the short side at the moment. And we've got scope to actually break away from that grid format a little bit and bring it along around here, like so. I kind of want to maybe upgrade this to a bigger road if I can. And what I'm thinking is actually bypassing these coming up on this ramp here, like so, and then going back down again and just having them as a straight link that way. I think that might be more efficient. It would certainly enable us to perhaps slightly reposition stuff around here as well. So let's quickly take out this junction here, like so. I'm also going to take out this here and this one here, And potentially what this gives me the scope to do is actually make those full-on freeway ramps. Let's see if I can actually upgrade these all the way along. Can't do that one because of the pillar. There's no point doing some and not all, so we'll leave those as they are then. It's a bit of a shame, unless we can maybe rework it. Yeah, let's rework it. I'd like to make that a nice proper intersection if I can. So we're going to tear this out. Getting sidetracked already. This happens to me all the time. Let's go straight and connect in that direction, and then connect in that direction. There we go. So if I take, let's do all this if we can first of all in small stuff. So this is the outgoing road. Now we're going to have an external connection sort of sweeping around here, which is going to feed into here, which will then feed up to here. Before I go any further, like I said, I wanted to upgrade this road here. This is going to have to move, this fire pit. So let's move that along one. I don't mind these buildings getting knocked down, but I do want this to be a little bit busier. We're going to have to take this section out because the support columns underneath are getting in the way. And that'll probably do, I think. So let's rebuild this section. Doing this to hopefully get support beams in place, and it's not going to leave them there, never mind. Alright, that'll do. So this is our outgoing line. We're going to have a down ramp that feeds in, so we need to put the ramp in first. And ideally I would like that ramp to be a little bit further back. Let's take that out as well and see if we can start that ramp. Maybe a little bit further back. This might be an issue. How about if I were to do that and then draw that down? Okay, so let's put our ramp going up. There we go. Hopefully those aren't going to be too close. Let's check that. Yeah, they are a bit too close. I was worried that might be the case. So we just need to make them a little bit further apart. So instead of going right there, let's go there instead. Let's bring the bridge up to there and then join it like that. There we go. And now on this side, this is going to simply freeform curve around onto here like so. So we're going to have a road coming here like this. This is going to then merge into the freeway this way, and then we have this connection that'll then go down and then feed off that way, or will also feed into this bit of town here. We may need to take this junction out as a result of that, just to give us a little bit more space between there, but hopefully it'll be okay. Need to do the same on this side. So there's our 1 block space. I want to go straight for a little bit for 1 block, and then go freeform and bend that around like that. And there we've got our exit ramp. This actually needs to pop up on the other side, doesn't it? This needs to be on the other carriageway. This one will take underground, I think. So I'll make this a little bit more severe. Like so. Or maybe, actually, thinking about it, let's try and be really creative. Now, I do struggle sometimes with the creative aspect of this. How about we bring this underneath? Probably gone a little bit too far with the angle. But basically what I'm trying to do here is get this to actually come through . I wish I could get it to just drop down and not try and auto-connect. That might do it. And then bring it around this way. Bring it out a little bit further first. And around. There we go. So this road is going to sweep around. It's going to go over. I'm wary of the bridges because these might get wider. Let's just take that out a little bit further if I can. I don't want a central pillar to appear in the middle. It's tricky trying to get this space just right. That should do it, hopefully. And then we can curve this around and down. That's not bad. This side here, I want to bring this up like so. This, we need to raise this up over the top. And again, I need to avoid a central pillar if I can get away with it. So that means having a very short little piece of road just here, then so be it. Start bringing this down again. Angle might be a little bit too much, but hopefully that'll work. And curve this around and connect that up that way. So traffic coming in this way doesn't yet have a way in. It's going to need to connect to this. So let's see if I can get this to look good, because that's going to become a single lane carriageway going up there to join onto that. Let me also, before I go too far, see if I can actually upgrade all of these pieces that I need to. Yeah, there we go, there's a problem. Alright, if I take that piece out there. Yeah, I was worried about this. Let's put in what I can. Then we can rework the bits that don't work. Yeah, that's not working either. So before we put this piece in underneath, we're going to need to make sure that at the very least these pieces work. So that's going to have to go up in height first. That works. Let's take this out. There we go, that was fiddly. Now we can start to bring this down on this bend. In fact, maybe I can actually get that to start dropping at that point. Yes, I can. But too much of a kink and it will put a support pillar in the middle. Which means I can't take it back the distance I need to get rid of the support pillar in the middle. This is really fiddly finite movements. There we go. And then bring it around and down. That's going to be a little bit too severe. Let's bring it down like that first of all. There we go. That works. It looks a little cumbersome at the moment. We can change it in terms of some of the things. This is why I wish that we had the ability to really tinker with elevation, so we don't have these weird sort of dips and rises like this. Obviously, it's something we can do on PC. You know, you can custom change elevations, but you can't do it on console, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. Let's smooth that off as well. Make it look a little bit more natural. There we go. So we have proper freeway merging there. We've got a side route coming off there, which then goes to this ground connection, which can then go up there as well if we need to. And we need to do the same over here. So let's put that in as the next bit. And then we can work on the cross ramps after that. So this needs to come down sort of like this. I'll bring it down to here. Actually, no, I want to try and match that curvature if I can. Like that. And now I kind of want that to merge up there as well. I had hoped to sort of be clever, come off underneath and then go up that side, but we'll just do it this way instead. This should be a little bit more effective. So let's try and get a nice smooth turn if we can, and then again it's trying to create that central barrier, which is going to be the issue. So maybe if we can bring that off a little bit earlier. Sort of there perhaps instead. Connected up that way. Gives us not too bad a kind of elevation change there, I suppose. Let's go in and change road directions. So this is facing the wrong way, which means that is, and that is. That is that. All the way across to there. That's all now flowing the right way. Over here, something isn't flowing the right direction. That is, and is all the way along here. So it's that piece, I think. Yes, there we go. You can actually see the signs are only on one side of the gantry. It does look as though we've got a little bit of a dip just there. There's not really a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. Now let's put in our proper slip roads. There we go, that's going the right direction. Where's the arrow on this one? That's the wrong way round. So let's change that direction. There we go, that's better. That comes down, feeds in here. That's the exit route to go straight out to the freeway that way. Need to be able to connect back up here as well, I think, because we have no way of getting back up that ramp, so we're going to need to do something here as well. Like that. Is that facing the right way? Yes, you can just see the arrow just there. It's really hard to see with the snow and the lighting, but that's going the right way. So far this is working. It's looking a little bit, maybe a little cumbersome, but hopefully, I'm hoping this is actually going to work really well. I guess, you know, we won't know until everything's sort of actually up and running properly. Let's do our road direction changes here. So traffic's coming in this way, that needs to change, as does that, and that, and that makes that need to be two-way traffic. Okay. There we go. So we have incoming traffic coming down this way and then traffic going up that way to feed up onto there. Haven't I just done that over here though? Yes, I have. So there's no longer a need for that connection there. So what I need is a route coming off this way onto this. That's what I need. Now that could be a little bit trickier because the elevation change. So kind of winging this, making it up as I go along. I don't have like a drawing or a plan to work to. I'm trying to make this up as I go along in my head, which is why it could be a little bit Could be a little bit smoother, you know, in the sort of drawing process, but we're getting there. So if that's the case, then I'm going to need something to feed out this way. That's going to need to go up. That being too severe an angle or an elevation issue. Like I said, this is where it's going to get tricky. Looks as though we'll have to break off just here and then try and bring it down from there. Like that. There we go, that works. There's our exit point onto the road there. Okay, so it's a little clunky, but it does give us, you know, full 3-lane freeway connections, which is kind of what I was hoping for originally. Just there, that's working nicely enough. Now I just need to put this exit ramp in up here. So that needs to come, let's go straight with this. I need to do this as actual road to get the spacing right. So that needs to go up to there and then curve in like that. Not the most glamorous of junctions, but should be highly functional. At least, you know, I'm really hoping it's going to be highly functional. Check direction and the arrows. There's an exit arrow there which matches traffic flow. That's fine, there's no traffic flow issue symbols popping up. I think that will work. I just need to change the aesthetic look a little bit now, so there we go. Traffic should certainly move through those junctions a little bit quicker, I hope. The only issue is that, you know, it's very kind of close just here. Maybe a little short piece like that might work. It's going to be traffic lights anyway, so maybe putting in a second lane will help ease some of the congestion there. And then, do we have any other issues where that's going to be a problem? I suppose there's nothing wrong with us making that a 2-lane junction on the down ramp as well, to allow traffic to get into the right lane. Yeah, and you can see that some of the traffic that's going straight is going just straight on to then rejoin the freeway over here. So it's working. It's not the most effective route for people wanting to leave the freeway this way and then go that way, but it's functional. My only concern is that we are potentially overloading this junction with a lot of traffic that just wants to stay on a freeway. Maybe we would be better off trying to sweep a piece around from there instead. I am starting to think that might be better, just to keep traffic off there. But the trouble is, if I do that and then bring a piece around to rejoin the road there, traffic's just going to turn off down here anyway. So may as well leave it as is and just keep an eye on that junction. We can always go back and reset it if we need to. Right, wasted a lot of time there, an awful lot of time. Need to get back into building. Desperately need to sort out our crematorium situation, which is pretty screwed. We desperately need a way to start adding in additional facilities to deal with our death, because it is starting to pile up an awful lot. I also need to figure out exactly where our station is going to go. So the line's going to come up here, and I think bringing the station maybe here might be a good point for our station. Let's go ahead and drop that in right now before I change my mind again, as I am unfortunately want to do. Looks like that's going to be the best place we can put it. It means I'll have to be very careful with what I put behind the station. I don't want there to be a noise issue. So let's bring this line out and down. There's our connection actually, so let's take that off. Bring the line up like that. Little curve go underneath the freeway. So that station just there, excellent. Let's create a line for it. And this gives us the scope as well to actually put an extra... Oops. Find a better colour. Yeah, I haven't had the yellow train yet, let's go with the yellow train. This brings us, gives us the scope to maybe put in an additional train route coming in from another route over here perhaps as well. There we go. We have a completed line which takes us over to this district over here. Let's quickly draw in some extra roads. Might as well. Actually, no, there's no need, because that actually already comes out to that section there. Let's bring... that's going to be in the way now, isn't it? Ah, oh, no. Damn it. I don't have the space to play about with to rejig all of this with all the stuff that I put in place over there. So that's kind of the end of that little double lane stretch of traffic, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Unless I were to bring it down this way. And the fire pit's there, so that's going to be an issue there. If I were to bring that along here, see, ideally I'd want that to run straight through the heart of this area. It's going to take some thought to maybe having to relocate this tram depot again in the future, or at least spin it around a little bit. In fact, I suppose we could spin it around a little bit. We'll do that in another episode. I'll do that off camera because it means I'm going to have to rip up this freeway point here as well. So, sorry, subway point. I want to continue to zone in extra spacing. I want to get that population up. We need those crematoriums. Desperately need those crematoriums now. So I'm going to run a couple of straight lines as in parallel to give me some options for a central road. And let's start breaking away from the existing grid layout and start putting in some different junctions over here. I want to kind of keep it gridded a little bit over this area, but around here, this is where I want to start, breaking away from that format. With some little variations in our road layout. So I bring this down to say here, and now freeform this into a more angled junction. We're starting to break away, as you can see. Take that piece out. There we go. Start to put a little bit of character into this area over here. I'm going to want to have a nice connecting road. I think this is going to be the one to do it. Need to kind of finish this section off over here before I can really do anything else with these plans. Get it nice and close to the border there. There we go. Don't really want another piece in just there. What we'll do instead is we'll have a little road coming up, like so. Do a small little offshoot in there. And then bring this sort of through here. There's a bit more of a windy road. There we go. So as we move away from that sort of centralized area, this is where it starts to split up and become a little bit more diverse in its kind of format. Deliberately leaving a space there to hopefully maybe get something placeable in there. Doesn't seem to like me connecting just there for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. There we go. So we've got a nice sort of interesting zone going on over here. This, as I say, is probably going to be my main road that runs through. So let's bring this around like this. Let's connect that on there. And I think we've got enough here, like this, to create some good extra people. So let's quickly drop a few bits and bobs in. Let's check our piping situation first of all. Yeah, we definitely need to extend our piping grid. So let's run that along to about there. This one here, we'll leave that as is for now. I'm going to run this one along here. And you remember I put this in as my connecting bit, and I did say at the time that this would end up being a temporary connection. It would no doubt get ripped up in the future. Well, now we're ripping it up because it's going to throw off the rest of our grid work. So we'll reconnect that in a moment. What I need to do is make sure that I have sufficient coverage down here. you know it. We are going to end up with a bit of an overlap. Oh, that's fine. We're hopefully going to expand into that tile in the future anyway. Let's take that up to there. Take that down there as far as I can. Draw that along the bottom. And connect back up there. There we go. So we have heating and water coverage. We're going to need some more services. So this is going to start becoming quite a big area, I think. So let's put in a large police station. We'll plonk that in just there, I think. And we're going to need a large fire service. So plonk that in next to it. Just there. We're going to need education. But more importantly, we don't have a single hospital on our map yet. We have lots and lots of little clinics dotted around, but we have no hospitals. Let's drop a hospital into this block just here, I think. Why won't it let me build it just there? There we go. Oh, wait, is this going to be our central road? Yes, it is. So that is not going to fit there once the road gets widened. So with that in mind, let's relocate it to here, but we'll leave that one line space there. So when that road does get widened, it'll go into that space and then connect up to the hospital that side as well. That is a more effective option. Then we can bring... let's take that connecting piece out. Let's make a connection here instead. Like that. And let's actually move the hospital along to that corner. Like that. So it's on a junction. So it's going to have, you know, better access from different directions. What else do we need to do? Education. Yes, we need education. We're going to need another probably graveyard for now. So we'll plonk one of those in sort of over here somewhere. One of these areas that I kind of tried to leave open for one. There we go. Graveyard will fit right nicely just there. We don't have a university yet either. Let's get a university in opposite the hospital. Again, leaving that one space gap next to that road so that when that road does eventually get widened, once I've kind of played around with everything, there will be space for the road to be extended and thickened. We're going to need a high school over here. Let's plonk the high school in on that corner. We're going to need an elementary. Let's plonk the elementary just there. I know the power lines are broken. We'll sort those out later. Let's put a few placeables in before we get too further advanced into anything. These are the leisure and tourism stuff that we have. What's this? Snowmobile track. A fishing pier. Ice hockey rink. Ice hockey rink might be quite good to have over here near the station. And the trams. Will it fit just there? Ah, look at that. That fits beautifully just there. What else can we drop in? I like to have some parks around. Let's get a ski lodge somewhere over here, because I want to put in another cross-country, if I can remember where it is. There we go, cross-country skiing park, skating park. Yeah, skiing park. These are a lot of fun, actually. So Again, let's try and find a good location centrally if we can. Maybe along here, near the station, might be a good idea. There we go. And then we'll get our little ski lodge, and we'll put a couple of those in just there. And then again, we've got good link here, you see, with the station. Let's make sure that we have good access as well. Let's put in a public footpath like that. Let's also dezone those little blocks like that. We'll come back and rezone them in a moment. So we've got two little ski lodges there. What else can we drop in? There's got to be a few other little bits and bobs we can drop in there. Let's get an ice sculpture park. Do I want it opposite the school? I'd rather have a playground, I think, near the school. Let's see. How about... just there. Yeah, that works there. So let's go to playgrounds. We've got a sledding hill. Do we have a bit of an incline? A little bit of an incline over here. So let's see if we can maybe fit a sledding hill in over here. How about just here? On that corner there. Last little bits. That's the large playground. Let's get a small playground. I do try to keep these closer to the schools where I can. I just find it, the placement looks better. So I'll put a small playground opposite our park, our kindergarten there. And I think we're ready to start zoning stuff in. So let's check the power lines before we go any further. Let's put a connection running along here, like so. Take that connection out. Having these spaced around here is going to help zone in this area nice and quickly as well. We can take these lines out because we won't need those. I think, as long as we're careful with the placement of certain zones, we should be good to go. So let me very quickly drop in a few bits of commercial where I think we're going to need them. Makes sense to have some commercial up here. So I'll block some commercial in there. I want to have some offices around here as well. Got a lot of commercial up here. I don't want all that commercial next to our stations. So let's block in some office like that. I want there to be offices along here. Just need to dezone that. There we go. That'll minimize some of that impact of all this commercial up here that just isn't going to be working all that well. Let's rezone that block there as well. Hell, let's just rezone this whole block along this side of the road. There we go. Let's go into our commercial, our residential. Let's go to fill and start blocking in a load of residential stuff. And we want to do this in such a way that we are connecting up the missing routes with our power. So this wants to be a block of residential along here, like that, to connect up all our different bits and bobs. Let's put some residential here as well. You can hear all the places pinging like crazy. That's because of all the additional stuff that we've dropped in, all those extra buildings, the hospital, the larger police station, the larger fire station, the university, all the extra placeables. It's just popping this area like crazy, which is exactly what we want. Right, let's check our power lines. Almost out of time. really, really closely to time at the moment. I just need to let this stuff continue to zone in. We've got the stuff in place. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm going to call it a day here. We have our nice extra expansion just here, coming in very, very nicely. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this will be all zoned in and active by the time you come back in the next episode. And that episode will be with you very soon.